Hey guys, Mike from CCTV Camera Pros here. In this video, I want to run you through a demo of our Viewtron LPR cameras API. So our Viewtron LPR cameras automatically detect license plates and automatically recognize the numbers and letters on them. And most customers use those with a Viewtron LPR to capture all the plates and log them to a database and record the video. But some customers use our Viewtron LPR cameras to integrate with third-party systems via software. And the Viewtron LPR has a very powerful API, application programming interface, where anytime a license plate is detected, it can send out a HTTP post to a webhook URL that you specify, and on that receiving end, you can process the license plate recognition however you want. It's extremely powerful and lets software integrators really do whatever they want when a plate is recognized. So in this demo, what I'm going to do is I wrote an API server a couple years back, and I just refreshed it a little bit because the newer firmware on our Viewtron AI cameras can send out more data now in the XML payload that the API uses. So I needed to revisit that and refactor some things. And I have that new code that I uploaded to GitHub, which I will share, running on a Raspberry Pi. And I have my laptop connected to that Raspberry Pi over SSH. So I'm going to be doing everything on that laptop. In addition, I'm going to log into the web interface of the LPR camera on that laptop and show you how I can add license plates to the license plate database that's embedded in the camera. That camera can hold 10,000 plates on its internal database. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one plate and make it authorized and then in the database, and then one I'm just going to leave out. I could make it unauthorized, but the logic in my server, if the plate's not in there, it assumes it's not authorized. So let's log into the camera. I'll show you how the license plate recognition is set up. I'll show you how to configure the API server that the camera is going to send the HTTP post webhook to, and then we'll run through a demo where I have the camera detect the authorized plate and the non-authorized plate, and you'll see how the software handles both of those scenarios.
Okay, so switching over to my laptop now, we're logging into the Viewtron LPR camera through the web interface. I enter in the user ID and password and log in, and I'm brought to the live security camera view. I want to go into this config tab up here and then click on license plate detection. This checkbox is how you enable the license plate detection functionality, and you need to draw a license plate detection zone on the screen down here. And then when you're done drawing that plate detection zone, you could save, and then I'm going to go into the vehicle database section, and you could see I already added that one license plate to the allow list. I'll go in here and show you the settings. There's the license plate number. I assigned an owner of me, and most importantly, I set it to the allow list. When you're done, you could save that. We're just going to add that one plate. And last, we're going to go under the network settings over here and go into HTTP post. This is where you configure the output to the API server. This is the IP address of the Raspberry Pi that I'm using. This is the port number that the server's using. /API is the URL. And then you could select which type of alarm data you want to send. I'm sending both the original picture and the target picture. And I'm only sending license plate detection events. I'm not sending any other types of events right now. So when I'm done, I'm going to go back to the live view. And then I'm going to pull up the terminal. I'm going to enable this detection visualizer over here on the right. And then I pull up a terminal window. I'm already logged into the Raspberry Pi. You could see the server.py is the Python server. So Python 3 server PI, I get the server running. You could see it's ready to accept HTTP posts. I'm going to grab that first license plate and run it through the license plate detection zone. This is the plate that's on the authorized list, so you can see the license plate was detected, it prints the number, and then it prints that it was authorized. And you can see it also saved the images and wrote the event to a CSV file. This is the license plate that's not in the database. You can see the plate was detected, but it's not authorized, but we still save the images in that images directory. And then we also saved the record to our CSV file. Okay, so real quick, I also just want to show you the view from the Viewtron NVR that the camera is recording to, because the resolution is much better through the NVR interface than the web interface. So this is the HDMI output of the Viewtron NVR, and it was recording at the same time as my server was running. I just want to show you that the true resolution of this camera. Actually, this is still lower than the true resolution because I recorded this at 2 megapixel 1080p resolution, and the LPR camera is 4 megapixel. But you could see the resolution is way better on the NVR than through the video feed on the web browser interface.
Guys, I want to talk about some things before we wrap up. Again, that code, the server is running on a Raspberry Pi, and I run it on a Raspberry Pi because you could integrate this with like a gate system or an access control system using a Raspberry Pi. And right now I just have a couple LED lights connected to that Raspberry Pi. And when an authorized plate is detected by the camera and the server, the green LED light lights up, and when a non-authorized plate or a plate that's not in the database comes through, the red LED lights up. But what you could do if you were integrating this with a gate system is you could connect the Raspberry Pi to a relay output and trigger like a 12-volt input on a entry gate. Most of those gates are 24-volt logic, and you could use a relay to go from the 3-volt GPIO port on the Raspberry Pi to triggering a 24-volt logic gate. The other things that I wanted to mention is I have options in the server to save all of the images. So the camera captures 2 different images anytime there's a license plate recognition event. It captures the full image that the whole camera captured, but it also captures a zoomed in cropped image of the license plate only. And I save both of those files, in this case on the Raspberry Pi, but wherever you're running the server, you could save those images. Also, I have it writing all of the records to a standard CSV file. So I just wanted to give people like some examples of what you could do with this, because obviously if you enhance my server, you could do whatever you want with it. Last, it's not just for Viewtron license plate recognition cameras. This works with our other AI cameras that do human detection, vehicle detection, facial recognition, and face database capture. So I've done most of the development with the license plate recognition camera because that's where most of the requests I were getting were coming from. People are very interested in doing LPR camera integrations. But the next thing I'm going to tackle is probably I'm going to get one of our facial recognition Viewtron cameras and do basically the same thing for face recognition, which you could also use for access control if you want, or whatever else, whatever you want to program. Anyway, if you have any questions about the Viewtron LPR camera API or security camera systems in general, or what you can and can't do with these things, you can email me anytime. I can be reached at mike@viewtron.com. If you want to download the source code to the Viewtron LPR camera API that I just demonstrated, it's on GitHub, and I'll link to it from our website. You could go to www.viewtron.com/API. Thank you for watching.